Welcome to the latest edition of Millennial Boom with Diane Faith and Stanley Roberts, where almost no subject is off limits. Now, here are your hosts, Boomer Diane Faith and Millennial at heart, Stanley Roberts.
I'm on strike.
Hi, guys. We missed you.
I'm on strike.
Oh, you're on strike? Then why are you here? It was supposed to just be me if you were on strike.
So I can say I'm on strike. How would you know I'm on strike unless I say I'm on strike?
Okay, now you're going to walk away?
No, I'm just going to sit here with my picket sign and march around in circles. That's what we did the other day, right?
That's not what we did the other day.
Oh, hello. But first, before we get started.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Good evening, wherever you are. What's up? What's up? Make it with Calvin. What's up, Gil? What's up, Gabriel? So if you're joining us and you're on Twitter, you can go to Twitch TV. I wrote twitch.com, didn't I?
It's twitch.tv.
Yeah, it's twitch.tv. Let me fix that. Twitch.tv, not .com. How long have I been doing this?
Too long. Only 3 years.
Right. Go to twitch.tv and then you can
At least you're not saying Twix.
Oh, yeah, we passed that point. You can go there and you can join us and we will enjoy the conversation. And as long as you're polite and kind, we will let you join our conversation because we are a kind and gentle podcast.
I love that.
Yes.
Kind and gentle.
Kind and gentle.
I've never thought of a podcast to be kind and gentle.
What's up, Maverick? Yeah, we're kind and gentle.
Okay.
All right. Like the fabric softener.
Chris goes, Twix.
Twix.
Twix. What's going on, guys? I know we haven't been here for 2 weeks? Or no, a week.
Just a week.
Just a week. Sorry, it seems like it's been
a whirlwind week.
It's been a fun
whirlwind
week.
Birthday week. Yeah, I do want some photos of the places. I'm going to show them to Diane.
Photo of what place?
Of GTA, all the places we went to.
Oh, yeah.
So
He is obsessed.
Oh, it's cold where we are. What's the temperature outside right now?
It's 58 degrees.
It's 58 degrees where we live.
He said, "Are you guys cold both in sweatshirts?" Yes, it's 58 degrees here.
Yes.
It's not your typical summer weather.
Yeah, this is Bay Area weather by the water.
By the water.
By the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like really cold.
And where I was earlier today, it was
warmer.
It was sunny and warmer, but windy.
Everyone knows it's windy.
I know you're gonna say that.
Because windy has starry eyes. Okay.
Oh, I just realized your beard came all the way back.
I know. I shaved it.
He shaved it for his birthday, so July.
It came right back.
You shaved it July 1st?
Mm-hmm.
And what's today? Oh, today's the 9th.
Yeah, so 9 days later.
8 days later.
See the doctor.
Why do you keep singing?
I don't know. I'm in a singing mood. 90 where Maverick
wow,
is.
Chris, 90.
And probably 90% humidity too.
Oh, no thanks.
Yeah, I passed on the humidity.
Well, I was just thinking about how if we were still in Phoenix, it'd be like 100 and something degrees.
107 in the shade.
No thanks.
Yeah. The high in Cleveland today was 73, which is about 10 degrees below average. I'm just glad that we don't get wildfire smoke right now. So back to my story that first of all, we rented a car from, so here's the perks of renting, not the perks, but we don't like to drive our own cars long distance.
We did when we moved back to California.
That's the last time we drove it long distance. We moved back here.
Yeah.
And then we rent a car and I try to teach people this too. We rent a car because it is cheaper in the long run. Because if you drive your car and your car breaks down, you have to pay to get your car fixed. But if you drive a rental car and your car breaks down or it gets in a crash or it gets attacked by bumblebees or there's a dinosaur running across the street.
Or just like all these random things.
Random things that can happen to your car. They call you call them up and say, "Hi, my car got smashed by a Tyrannosaurus Rex." And they go, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Where are you? We'll send you another car." Right. And then the other one you have to wait. Well, like a friend of mine, he went to Calgary in his car and his computer went out. $4,000 later. He had to pay.
Oh, man, that sucks.
Woo!
Yeah, so we rented a car.
Yes.
And drove from here to LA.
And then we get there and we check in and everything's fine and dandy. And we get there, we get settled in, we go grab some food, and then about 5 o'clock in the morning,
we'll grab some food, we'll go to sleep.
Then about 5 a.m. we start hearing, "No justice, no peace."
I didn't hear no justice.
Oh,
no
okay.
Peace.
It was
They're saying "Si se puede."
"Si se puede," and they had drums and horns and bullhorns.
And then they were like, "What do we want?"
Yeah, and then justice or whatever, or contract.
No, I think they said higher wages or something.
So higher wages, yeah. So then we look out the window on the 17th floor that overlooked Universal Studios. It's a great room.
Great room, great view. But we also heard the strike. I think we had been on the other side, we wouldn't have heard them like the other people that were like, "Oh, we didn't even
know."
Yeah,
and then just like United site.
Something 11, local 11 or something.
Yeah, United something 11. We're on strike for apparently 45 different hotels.
Yeah, so when we checked in on Saturday, we had no mention of it, and then we woke up on Sunday, and Stanley was like, "For a quick
thank you, Big Bucks, for 99 cents."
Thanks, Big Bucks. Stanley was like, "Are they singing Happy Birthday to me on my birthday?" And I was like,
"No,
I don't think so."
I knew they weren't. It was just being fun with, it was like,
yeah.
I thought it was a early morning birthday greeting with the, chanting outside. Stan, it's great. We gave him chocolate cake.
And this is the day we knew that we were going to have a long one because that was our day for Universal Studios. So we wanted to kind of get some sleep, but we couldn't. So we woke up at 5:30 and we had been up since then.
And we got up and then everybody was on strike. Everybody except for management and valet. But everything else was on strike. So
I think eventually some of the people on the valet, because they were
just
short
didn't
too.
want to cross the picket line.
Oh, okay.
So basically, we were going to take the shuttle to Universal because it's right next door. But then we decided to go eat breakfast at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
He really wanted Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. So we went there, and that's in Hollywood. So it's like the next city. We were in Universal City, and Hollywood's like the next city over.
Well, it's not really a city because it's all LA.
Well, yeah. Okay, the next section over.
Yeah, next
or district. Yeah. Had Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
Oh, so good. We made the server laugh.
Yeah, he was cool. I think you made almost everyone laugh.
I like making people laugh.
That's just his personality. If you guys ever meet Stanley in person, he is very friendly, very talkative. I don't understand. That's why I also don't understand why people are intimidated by you, because you are very. I mean, I personally, maybe it's because I know you very well, but I think you're approachable.
So I did a Diane on him when we were at the Roscoe's.
You did a Diane.
I did a Diane. So the guy comes over and we ordered.
What does that mean?
I ordered eggs, sausage, and grits. And when he came over, I said, "Excuse me, sir, but are these pasture-raised chickens?"
No, you said, "Are these pasture-raised eggs?"
Are these pasture-raised? He goes, "What does that mean?" And then I decided to describe it to her the way Diane would describe it. Well, pasture-raised eggs are higher in omega-3 fatty acids. And if you eat them, they're good for you than regular eggs. And so did he, thinking he's really good. He goes, "Oh."
No, well, you forgot to mention also that you did say, yeah, it's where the chickens are raised on pastures. They have, they're free to roam around.
And he goes, "Oh, yeah, we have some pasture-raised eggs out back running around right now."
First of all, I don't go everywhere and say, "Hey, do you guys have pasture-raised eggs?" Because I do expect that when I go out to eat, which I really try to limit, but when we're traveling, that makes it a little bit harder. But when we go out to eat, I already know that there are specific places that will just not have pasture-raised eggs, or grass-fed beef, or pasture-raised chicken. I just know these things. And the thing about that is, I always say balance, right? I eat well at home. Not saying that I eat badly when I go out, but the quality just might not be up to par with what I have when I'm at home.
Unless you go to Burger Lounge.
But well, yeah, because Burger Lounge has grass-fed beef. But yeah, so anyways, but it's balanced, right? I'm not going to kill myself over, I'm going to go to Roscoe's Chicken Waffles and it's not going to be like the quality that I usually get at home. I'm not going to kill myself.
Let me ask you a question.
I'm going to enjoy it.
Let me ask you a question. Would you travel to Rome to eat grass-fed burgers?
I would travel to Rome to eat grass-fed burgers.
The one in San Mateo?
Exactly. So anyways, we had Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, and Afterwards, we went to our favorite coffee place, Phil's. We got some Phil's coffee.
We took pictures.
We skipped out on the coffee at Roscoe's.
And I got compliments on my goggles all day long.
Oh, yeah. Which eventually...
Well, so...
We'll get there. Okay. So he got compliments on the goggles all day long. So after Phil's, we made our way back to Universal. Went on our tour. We did the VIP.
I recommend the VIP highly.
Yes.
I really do.
Yeah. I think one of the things that you, first of all, keep in mind that the VIP means that like you don't have to worry about paying for anything when you're there, except for if you want like alcohol or something, because they take care of you for your lunch or your dinner meal, depending on what time you schedule the tour. Snacks in the morning.
Bottled water, which costs $12 at the park.
Yeah. So when you think about like whether or not you want to spend money for like doing the VIP, and then think about the time and the money you would spend if you didn't, just kind of like weigh those pros and cons if you're ever contemplating whether or not to do that. Because we did that. We did the pros and cons when we contemplated it the first time we did it, and now we can't do it any other way because we know how.
Okay, just to be fair, we did the VIP tour once.
Oh, that's right.
And then we decided,
we did it twice, and then we decided
to go back to do it the old-fashioned way.
And we were like,
we realized, no. When you were in line for 2 hours to ride for 12 seconds, you realize
it's really like a time versus money thing. So like with the VIP, you get to go ahead. I think we've talked about this already, but you get to basically skip the line, and a lot of the wait times were like 100 minutes plus. So you're thinking that's almost 2 hours, right? And so like you get to bypass all of that. And you get to get on the rides first, and then when you have your free time, you can go back and get on the rides again and still use the VIP card that you have to like skip all the lines. And then at the same time, which also is really cool, is they do have a tour that they offer there.
The tram ride, but it's not the tram ride you've ridden on. If you've ever been to Universal, you go on this tram ride. It takes you through the whole back lot, and you just lay your stuff and you wave from everywhere you want to go. But with the other version of it, the VIP tour, you're in a small thing that fits 24 people because each group is 12 people. So 12 and 12, last time I checked, is 24. Plus, each one has a guide. And our guide's name was Julia.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get to drive through the back lot, but the difference is you actually get to get out and walk around on the back lot.
And take pictures. And this time around, they showed us a sound stage, which was really cool because I had never been in one. I didn't even really know as someone who worked in TV, I didn't work on like that side of TV. And so like that was really cool to be able to go to a sound stage and know like, oh, this is where they shot, certain shows and stuff. And they would have multiple sound stages to shoot like certain shows depending on like.
And it's so huge. I mean, the ceiling is like 90 feet.
Yeah, tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's like all these lights on the ceilings. But anyways, very, very cool. We felt like kids again. Stanley said it was like one of the best days of his life. And for me, that means a lot because, I like to see you happy.
Me too.
And, well, of course you do. But we had a good time. So after we did the VIP tour, and all of our group was like, everyone was really friendly. We had a really cool group. We all clicked. We got along. We loved our guide, Julia. She did this funny thing. I'm not sure if you saw the pictures that Stanley posted on Instagram and Twitter, but she did this funny thing where like she didn't have like a stick to get our attention. So she would just raise her fingers like this the whole time. And eventually all of us in the group were just raising our fingers so we could make sure we were all stuck together. So at some point you could see all of us going like this.
And funny thing is, she said, I want you guys to stick together. So I thought she meant literally. So I pulled out a jar of super glue, and then she was like, no, that's not what I mean. I mean, stick around so we don't get lost.
And why you have super glue? I have no idea.
You never know. Somebody may want to, be stuck with me.
Yeah, so we did that. And then by the end of the night, we were like
exhausted.
So tired.
It felt like I got hit by a freight train for real.
He could barely move.
No disrespect to people who've been hit by a freight train. But
yeah, because you've never been hit by
a freight train. But it feels like I was hit by a truck and just every bone. And so I lay down on the bed for a minute after taking a shower because we were like super sweaty. And
it was very warm that day. So like I think it was about 80s.
Yeah.
Around 80s.
Took a shower, laid on the bed, and then she goes, "Can you close the curtain?" And I was like, "Okay."
And he fell asleep.
I was like, okay.
And I was like, oh man. The reason I wanted to close the curtains was to make sure that the light didn't come in like, very early in the morning. But it didn't matter
because
they were out there striking anyways.
Banging the gong.
So we heard them. So
we forgot to mention, and so Dracula showed up.
Oh yeah.
And if you saw my video on my Twitter, so Dracula showed up, and I was like, and so when he got there, first thing that came to mind was, I said, it's I love your cereal. And he goes, wrong count. And I said, oh, you're the one that counts then, right? And he looked at me like this, look at his face. And I was like, and so it's funny because he was like, Diane's blood was like the perfect blood.
I know, because I'm O positive.
Yeah. And so I told my Tickles joke, the octopus joke.
Oh god.
And I swear he almost broke character because I saw his mouth go like this. But then he caught himself. And then he goes, I'm laughing on the inside. But I literally saw him almost break character because he almost laughed. So that was funny to me.
Yeah, that was funny. He was walking around as we were having our lunch.
And we saw and the lunch they give you isn't like a box lunch. You actually have catered meal with chefs.
And it's buffet, so you get to go back and
it's at a private restaurant that's not publicly accessible.
Yeah.
So for a minute you feel like a star.
And they have like charging stations for your phone.
For your phone.
Yep. Like so if you're
you have private restrooms.
Yep.
You have bottled water you can take with you. Cookies hot off hot out of the oven.
Sounds really good right now.
Yeah. And although we watch people there eating badly, and Diane had a hard time with that one.
Oh, you guys. Okay. So you like even when I'm on vacation, right? You know how people are like, oh, I'm on vacation, I'm gonna eat whatever I want. Personally, for me, I still eat the same way when I'm on vacation. Again, like I stated before, right? I know that sometimes the quality is just not going to be as good, but I still eat the same way. I still try to make sure my plate has enough protein, enough healthy fats, enough carbs, right? And this kid, and kids will be kids, and especially like they might not know any better. So this kid comes up to us, comes up to the table next to us, and he puts down his plate, but he leaves to go get some other stuff. I look at the plate, dude, this little boy, he must have been like, I don't know, like 9 or 10. He had like 8 cookies on the plate. He had like pita bread.
He had Carb City.
It was like all carbs. So we looked, the rest of the family comes and like sits down with their plates too. And all of their plates are just filled with carbs.
Yeah.
Like almost all of them. Like there was like no balance in everything else. But again, like I observed, but of course I didn't say anything, to each their own, right? But then the little boy comes back with a Sprite. And so I'm like, okay, carbs and a soda. I'm like, this boy is going to have the largest crash after he leaves this theme park. Because if you know anything about blood sugar, then you know that that's how it works. You're going to crash after having all of those carbs after. And so, I mean, hey, that might have been beneficial for the parents because then he just knocks right out. But
so we don't work for Universal.
We don't
get paid by Universal.
We just had a really great experience.
We just had a really great experience and we really enjoyed it. Now, I have to admit that, we don't have a huge budget. We don't,
Yeah.
we don't have the ability to, do what we want when we want to. What do we like to? Our important part is keeping our lights on at the home.
Yeah.
But at some point, you just have to go for it and, go out and do what you do and enjoy yourself. And she asked me, what do you want to do for your birthday? And I said, I want to go to Universal Studios. That was the first thing I said to her. And she said, okay. And so I want to do the VIP tour. So this was her birthday gift to me to go to the VIP tour. And we had to check out of the hotel because of the strike. Not because there was no room service. They had managers doing room service, but we know that that's not.
We don't really do room service anyways, but
not
like
a whole lot, but
yeah, but there was no option to anyways.
There was no restaurants. There was nothing.
Yeah,
and you couldn't drive. You had to drive somewhere or walk up to Universal. Now, so we decided to get an Airbnb, which was in the Marina Del Rey,
which was really cool actually.
It actually was pretty much a single bedroom. But
it was a studio.
Thank you.
Which was actually like it's like perfect for vacation. It's just the two of us. So like we stayed in Marina Del Rey.
It was right next door to our favorite restaurant.
Killer Shrimp.
And now, I'm not sure if I can say Killer Sushi is our favorite yet.
Yeah.
But we can say a Killer Shrimp.
Killer Shrimp was really good. We met up with one of my friends who I used to work with. So that was really cool.
So I turned Diane on to Killer Shrimp. How many years ago?
Whenever I lived in LA.
Right.
2012 probably.
2012. So I've been going to Killer Shrimp since the early 90s when it was it was first started as a little small restaurant in Studio City, right next to Colfax Studios for CBS.
Yep.
And they only had 3 things on
Well,
the
the
menu.
funny thing is, I used to work at that
3
one.
things on the menu: killer shrimp, which is a concoction of a broth they made from, it's really good broth.
It's a little on the spicy side.
With shrimp, either
peeled or not peeled.
unpeeled.
Yeah.
And
French bread.
And you get that in a little bowl, and you dip it in there, and you can eat the bread, and you can eat the shrimp, and then it's just so good.
It's
and then
so good.
So 3 things on the menu: the shrimp. Then they had Mexican Cokes, and they also sold sweet potato pecan pie.
Sweet what?
Sweet potato sweet pecan pie.
Sweet what?
Sweet potato sweet pecan pie.
No, Beam, not sweet potato.
Sweet potato.
Sweet potato. Where's the A in potato?
I don't know. I ate it.
Sweet potato pecan pie.
It used to be near Radford, Ventura.
That sounds really good. I don't even think I had a bite of yours.
I offered you some.
That's right. Well, it's because I had the warm.
You had the warm apple compote.
Apple compote? Apple cobbler. And it was so big. I'm so glad that I shared that with Chin, because if we hadn't shared, I wouldn't have been able to eat that all. That would have been a waste.
It was so big. You put the whole thing in your mouth. I was surprised. What? I'm talking about the pie. What are you talking about?
You're so gross. Anyways, guys. I
think it's spelled sweet potato.
Patata.
Patata.
Yeah. So yeah, we hit up killer shrimp. We also checked out the fireworks.
We went to Venice Beach, which this is the part where this is the part where I start to geek out a little bit. So just for the record, killer shrimp is actually on GTA. It's just not called killer shrimp. Yes, it is.
That's funny.
So we drove my cars by there on a regular basis, but we went to Venice Beach, which on Grand Theft Auto is called Vespucci Beach.
Oh gosh.
And so I'm there geeking out, like, oh, look at this, look at that. And it's so weird because I'm on the beach, we're walking on Venice Beach, walking around, and people are going, Stanley Roberts, we love your work. I was like, okay, I'm just out here to try to enjoy myself. And I mean, it's fine. It's great. We talk to them. I always talk to people that I meet in public. And Diane goes, man, you're really good at talking to people. I would try to avoid them, but I'll actually have a conversation with them and give them some tips on where I go eat or where's a good place to eat at. And but I was geeking out because it was like, and then then we went to Santa Monica Pier, which is also another scene that's called Del Poro Pier in GTA. And I'm going to have Gabriel take some pictures to show you the places we were and how they match up. So he's going to
he's going to do a side by side.
He's going to take the pictures and show the difference. That's what he said. So I was going to show you on the show, but I'll let him send us the pictures.
You mean on the video game?
On the video game, yeah. Del Poro Pier, yeah.
Okay.
So and remember the opening where I had to get you shot? They have that too. So it's really weird when you remember driving your tank down on the pier and shooting people, and then the parking lot is even.
He's still talking about the video game, guys.
Yeah, it was so crazy. It was like I felt like I was like in the middle of GTA, except for nobody was shooting at me. And I didn't drive my car down the steps.
Yeah, so we go to these places and he's like, oh, this is so-and-so in GTA. This is so-and-so. And like, mind you, we've been to these places before, but this was before he played GTA. So he's getting all excited about Muscle Beach and Santa Monica Pier. And I'm like, we've been to these places before. Why is he super excited? I just wanted to enjoy a nice walk. It was really sunny. And then he's like, oh, gotta take a picture of this, gotta take a picture of that. It looks just like it. And I'm like, okay. He's just like being a But
then we drove down PCH, which is also one thing.
Yeah.
And I was showing you all the different spots on PCH, which is Pacific Coast Highway.
Yep.
So we fly our cars and jump off in the gas station off the top of the hill by the museum. Yeah,
I just think it's funny because we used to both live in LA, and then I never heard you get all excited about these specific places until you started playing GTA.
Remember, GTA has so here's the reason why I even played GTA in the first place. So historically, I've never played video games my entire life, except when I was younger and worked at an arcade. So I worked in an arcade in Chestnut Street in Philadelphia, arcade. So I worked there, and I worked, gave you change and whatnot. So I never really played home video games, never owned a video console. But then when I had my stroke 8 years ago, it'll be 8 years.
It'll be 8 years
next
in August,
month. Yeah. The doctor said that, one of the best ways to help rehabilitation is to play video games. It works with your hand-eye coordination. So my roommate, the guy who I was renting a room from at the time, had Xbox 3 Or yeah, I think he had Xbox 3.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was funny because I get to play it on his big screen because he had like a projection screen. And that's what really got me into that game was that. So I tried downloading other games when I ordered that one, but I just never really got into games. So I don't do a lot of them and never have, but that one was fun. I liked it because of the realistic part of it. It was like, there's so many different, I mean, they really took the time to build that game.
Mm-hmm. It's very detailed.
It's very detailed. And if you're driving, and like we drove to San Diego and we drove to the area where all the windmills were, that's in there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's different areas that you can pick. But when I'm actually there and I realize, oh my God, this is so, realistic that it's like, oh my goodness, this was really well done.
Well, it's because they took it from in an actual city.
Yeah.
Like they had a model. It's not like they made it and then the earth formed to what they made.
Yeah, thank you, Maverick. It's Xbox 360, which was the most. It's like
Xbox 3.
Yeah, I know. So it's funny because Xbox 360 was the most unsecured platform that I've ever seen.
Oh, really?
Because
it was unsecure.
It was so many people were hacking it. Like you'd be playing the game and all of a sudden there's a Christmas tree going down the street. Or you go back to where you live at and there's a whole bunch of windmills embedded in the ground.
See, the last time I played video games like hardcore was Nintendo 64.
So the name of the game is Grand Theft Auto, Phillips, GTA Online.
Yeah.
So the old Xbox 360 was really, really. So when you brought me the PlayStation, that was like a whole different world. And the whole world, it was a different world because it wasn't the hackers in there. And ironically, when I played the Xbox 360, I got thrown into they have a bad boy room, I forgot what they call it. But when you mess up, you get kicked out and put into a room where you run
like on the timeout or something?
No, you get to play the game, but with everybody who is really, really bad people.
Mm-hmm.
So like I had on a dunce hat and you run around and these people were just I couldn't even walk 5 feet without getting killed. I didn't know where the shots were coming from.
That's funny.
And so you had to wait until you were, and so it was hacked. It was so badly hacked that if you just upset someone, they would find a way to put you into the timeout, or whatever the room was called. I think Gabriel knows what it's called. He'll say the name in about 8 seconds, where you were put in that room and you couldn't leave until you finish your timeout. So it could be 3 days to 30 days. And you went around with, you had on this big white dunce hat and fighting Christmas trees and things that shouldn't be there in the middle of the road.
Fighting Christmas trees.
That's what it was. And it became like, okay, I don't want to play this anymore if this is what I got to deal with. But then we got the Xbox, it was a lot more cleaner. And then they added some new features to it, like the submarine. So I would drive my submarine on the beach. I don't play the room because I don't play online often. Well, okay. So anyway, there's a room that you go to if you're really bad. And what happened was how I got into the bad room one day was, okay, it's called Grand Theft Auto.
Mm-hmm.
Say that again.
Grand Theft Auto.
So when you think of the name Grand Theft Auto, what do you think about?
Stealing cars.
Okay, so you can steal cars or blow up cars.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's bad. You're a bad sport. It's a bad sport room. You're a bad sport if you blow up someone's car. So if you get too many bad sports, you get automatically put into
the bad sport
room,
mm-hmm.
where all the people in there are really, really. It's like you ever grew up and you had like these bullies, and they were all put on suspension, and they were in a room, and then you got put on suspension with the bullies, and then, so they beat your butt the whole time you were in the room with the bullies.
That never happened to me, but I can imagine that happening.
So imagine you going to a room full of bullies, and you're not really a bully. You just got caught up in the moment. So I did once was I like blowing up stuff. So I literally threw a grenade into a car meets from a rooftop,
mm-hmm.
and it blew up 8 cars.
Oh, wow.
Because once you hit one car, then the other cars start blowing up. And next you know, I'm in the dunce room.
That kind of sounds like a lot of fun. Like I would imagine the game to be a little bit of like a stress reliever.
Yeah. You can blow up AI cars all day long.
What are AI cars?
The cars that are,
the cars that are not like real people playing.
Yeah. So there's this little lady who walk around with the same hat on. I used to be like, I hate that hat, and I'd kill her. And then 5 minutes later, she come back with the same hat on again. So unfortunately, people think that this is real life, and they try to mimic that. And that's the sad part.
And they try to mimic it in real life.
Yeah, with because you're being chased by the police. So you as you play the game, remember the Air Force base you drove by?
No, that's not true, Chris.
What?
Chris says Diane never had that experience as she was the bully.
Yeah,
No,
she probably was.
I was not the bully. I actually got bullied real bad when I was younger. It's just that I never got in trouble to the point where I got stuck in the room with the bullies. I was always trying to hide from the bullies. So no, unfortunately, I was not a bully. I got bullied to the point where it affected my self-esteem real bad.
Well,
So
when I was a kid, I weighed 98 pounds soaking wet. So
you always say that soaking wet thing.
yeah, that means that no matter how, basically I didn't weigh much, and with water, it added like a couple more pounds to me. That's what that means. So when you're 98 pounds soaking wet, that means you're just really tiny. So I was literally bullied for most of my childhood.
I was bullied, and
I wasn't a crossing guard like some people think. Oh, he must be one of those crossing guards. I never was a hall monitor. I never had any of those classes. Matter of fact, it was so bad that whenever we played sports in school and like kickball, they would
pick you last.
bully me. No, I would be the last person picked, and I would be the person that they would. I'd be the last person to even get to kick the ball. So by the time it came for my turn to kick, the class was already over. Or my favorite, I won't say favorite like I like it, was that we had a water fountain. The old-fashioned water fountain.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say.
So just before I would get to my turn to drink water, so I would spit on the fountain so I couldn't drink water. So one day when they did that, I realized, you know what? Screw it. So when they spit on it, I just turned it on, let it run, and then I still drank the water. And they were, oh, this is disgusting. You know what? But it stopped them. They didn't do it anymore because they realized that didn't stop me from doing what because they figured if they do that, then and it's a world where you live in. That's why my trust level is very low on a lot of people. Is because when you're a kid, you go back to tell someone that you're being bullied, and that would turn around and bite you in the butt.
Yeah, because you need to be a snitch.
So then you would be considered not even a snitch because that wasn't the word back then.
That was a word when I was growing up.
It was more like the teacher would go and talk to them. Are you bullying Stanley? No. Okay.
Yeah, and then would come back and the bully would be like, "Yeah, what'd you tell on me? Yeah,
you tried to rat me out, huh? Wait till after school and kick your butt."
Yeah.
So I had to start fighting back, and then the only way to get people to stop it is to fight back. But you try to do. People tell you, "Oh, just ignore it, But at some point, you just got to fight back.
Yeah.
But see, that's why I tell people, you don't want me to fight back. I am the worst person you want to fight back. I really am, because I take my investigative skills and I look for whatever I can find. And if there's something out there, I can find it. So, people my whole life, I've made up stories about me every time. Even up to this day, there are stories made up about me. But it's okay,
Yeah, the most recent one.
Yeah, the most recent one.
You're getting funded by a freaking billionaire. And I'm like, oh, you are? Where's that money? I don't see no money.
Babe, you didn't see the check the other day? It was for $6 trillion. So I think we should... with $6 trillion, we can at least go to Target and get those.
How do you get $6 trillion from a billionaire? Trillion.
Well, it's the same way they got me being paid by a billionaire. They just pulled out their ass, so then I pulled out my ass.
I was like,
this is make up stuff.
I can't with that one. If you got funded by a billionaire, wow.
Yeah.
Life would be a little different.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah.
I think that's a little bit of an understatement, though.
It would be a lot different if we were funded by a billionaire. I barely know any billionaires. I thought somebody was a billionaire, and they said, I'm not a billionaire. Okay, well. All right, fair enough. But what do you do with I wouldn't even know how to address the billionaire. Hey, how you doing, Mr. Billionaire? What do you do with that? I honestly wish I was funded by a billionaire, because then I wouldn't be caught up in this mess.
I think people just like to come up with stuff out of their butt and hope it sticks, and people will believe it, and then you'll look bad.
I have 11 billions. Well, what the funny part is?
11 billions.
People believe anything they read. So you can make up stories all day long, and if you post it, it's got to be true. And you can even post a document that makes it look like it, but it's fiction. And it's fiction, and it's almost laughable until it's not. But my true followers know me, and when I say followers, I mean them in a nice sense of the matter, because these are good people. They know me. They know what I do. They know my history. The people who I've run across have never heard of me before. I know that because they'll say stuff like, I'm a citizen journalist. I'm like, really? So I've been in TV for 30 years. I've been out for 2, and now I'm a citizen journalist? Okay, fair enough. It's just funny how they make up their own stories and it becomes real life to them. And I wish, if any billionaires out there that want to fund me,
He's not saying no.
I'm not saying no, but I'm not. But I don't do politics, so don't fund me for politics because I'm not the right person. But fund me so that I can build my corporation up into something huge, and we can do this all over the country. Traffic safety videos from here to Philadelphia. I would love that because that's what I do. My expertise is traffic safety. You know for a fact that I do not indulge in politics.
I know that, and I think people are getting it mixed up because you're stating fact for what's actually happening in San Francisco right now, and people are trying to say that, well, you're like, people are trying to say that you're making it political because you're actually just stating what's happening. And I think the problem is that politics gets woven into like all of this stuff about what's happening in the city, and I understand why, but it's like if you're stating fact, that doesn't automatically mean, okay, we're now talking politics.
It's really weird because I've been labeled a Republican. I've been labeled a Democrat. I've been labeled everything, and no one knows what my real affiliation is because it's none of their business. But when you don't tell people, they make up their own things.
And I don't know why it matters.
I don't think it matters either, but they've made it matter. And that's what the problem is that now that is that situation where it matters to people who it really doesn't matter to. So a lot of people that come at me are coming from an echo chamber. What does that mean by that? That means that their engagement is like so low that it doesn't really matter. Only way their engagement, and someone sent me a DM the other day and said, hey, don't respond to them because you're giving them what they want, engagement. Because once you do that, then everybody flocks over to them. And one guy even tweeted one day, oh man, thank you for the engagement. So, I mean, without you, I wouldn't have had so many people show up on my page. And I realized that was where I woke up and realized, oh, so that's what they're doing. They're trying to get me to engage them so they can boost their numbers up. And so I ignore them now. And I posted the other day, it's like, I don't give up, because I don't, me. I don't care. All I care about is.
I'm just tired of people making up ish. It's like, why do you have to spread lies? Like, you got to stoop so low to spread lies for what?
So I want to talk about one other person real quick because I'm going to bring this up because this is important.
Gosh.
So
wait, I like what Make It with Calvin said. The sad thing is reality has become political, but facts, no matter who's in office.
Yeah. So I have been stalked cyberly by a person on Twitter named Emily_SF Mills or whatever. And she started off by attacking me using the name Primitive Radio, which was a hidden account, which I didn't know who she was. Mm-hmm. She does public document searches. That's all she does is sit around and search the internet for public documents so she can say, look what I found, look what somebody did, blah, 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 blah. And it started off with when I came back to shoot some people, some Mr. Bad, caught misbehaving segments in the Bay Area. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting at the hotel in San Carlos by the airport. And I'm like, this person shows up and it says, Primitive Radio. And I see you got GoFundMes. I'm like, why do you care? So first it was an attack on the GoFundMes. And it's like, oh, you making money. Like, okay, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm running a business about public safety. Yes, I am running a business about public safety. So yes, I want to make money to run this business. I did a GoFundMe, which they made fun of. Oh, how dare you have a GoFundMe? Like, so they don't want me to, and here's where it gets really interesting. This whole group is about, they want to make it better for Black people. They say that Black people are being picked on.
I don't understand what it has to do with them. So if you have a GoFundMe, so what? What does it have to do with them?
No, but see, that's just it though. Their whole thing is about helping the Black man get out of whatever is being attacked while they're attacking a Black man for trying to do work. It doesn't make sense to me. So, and yes, it's really weird because I didn't understand it. And then as time goes on, I start to understand that so then it went from Emily Mills to some guy named Ron Curtis, who I never heard before in my life. And I told you a story before. I'm not going to go back into it again.
Oh God.
You remember that? You remember that day?
I remember that day, but at the same time, I'm like, these people, like I wouldn't even bother to mention their names because I feel like they're just super relevant and they're trying to find
I know, but
reason to be relevant.
I want people to understand what's been going on. And most of my fans already know, they've seen it. But so it's been a constant, and I blocked this guy on two accounts, but somehow or another he has managed to get around the blocks, and
because he ain't got no other time to do anything.
So-
Clearly,
so I know, and
his job is online bullying.
Jeanette says I block all of them, and they're jealous and spiteful of any black person who sold out. Now, interesting is, I do the blocks. I didn't used to do block. You know that I didn't block people. My whole motto was I'm not going to block you because I mean you have the right to say what you want to say. But recently I started blocking people, but people have gotten around the blocks. So that's the epitome of cyber stalking. Although cyber stalking, the truest definition is making death threats. They're just being annoying to, so, I block them. But what the problem is that when I block them, other people will send me a DM saying, hey, look, this person posted this about you. And I tell them I don't really care.
So what's this group's agenda? Like, do
it's most of them that I've seen are on some group called SF Berniecrats. And their whole agenda is they all follow this guy named Dean Preston, which was our title that was going to be, I'm on the Dean's list.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So
that actually, if you follow Dean Preston, I guess that will really say a lot about you.
So remember though, I attacked Dean Preston on two pieces.
You didn't attack him.
No, I didn't. Well, in their mind, I attacked him.
You did not attack him. You approached him to ask him a question, and he had no time for you.
Well,
but then when he did try, I say try loosely, to answer the question, he came off as like pushing you aside, like you don't matter. So in actuality, you did not attack him. He's the one that made himself look dumb.
No, I get that part, but perception for these guys who are spin masters.
Well, they're basically blind.
Right. So what they do is they piggyback off each other. So when I block certain people, someone else will follow me from the same group, and then they will just send all the information to someone else. So it's like trying to fight.
Do these people have jobs?
I don't even know. I don't know any of them. Remember the guy that when I first got back, he told me that, now he was from, I think, Minnesota or Minnesota, and he was telling me that I was new to the Bay Area and I shouldn't be out here, but he just moved in 2 years ago. I'm like, I've been here 20 years. Where have you been?
So these guys are just professional online bullies.
And I think they're being paid by someone. Can't prove it, but there's been some rumors that they're being paid to. The thing that they're saying that I'm being paid to do is what they're getting paid to do.
No, so they're hypocrites.
So basically, yeah. I'm not getting paid though.
No, you're not.
I wish I was getting paid.
It's like people that like accuse someone of like cheating, but in actuality, they're the ones that are cheating.
Yeah. So exactly. It's like when I accuse you, how dare you're cheating on me. And then it turns out that I'm the one doing the cheating. So it's the same thing. So the best way to do it is a smear campaign.
I don't think you should have used yourself as an example.
So it's like a smear campaign. So the smear now is to make me appear like I'm being funded by billionaires to make the city look bad. Like, I wish.
So,
and I mean, how much would they pay for a tweet?
Are these the same people that want like the drug users to continue to be drug users?
Pretty much.
Would they just want to keep fentanyl on the streets and they're okay with people dying on the streets?
Well, it is what it is.
Like these are the same people,
These
right?
are the same people, yes.
Okay, does that make any kind of sense? So you want
so Twitter as a whole.
My question is who are they fighting for? Because if they're okay with people using fentanyl and dying on the streets, they're obviously inhumane if they're not for the people that they don't want to clear up drug use. They want these people to die, like on the streets, continue to use fentanyl. My question is who are they fighting for if they're not fighting for those people?
Yeah. No, I agree.
No, I want to know who are they fighting for.
I don't know. Well, I think, okay, I tell you who they're fighting for.
Because it sounds like they're just wasting a bunch of time.
Tell you who they're fighting for. They're
Dean
fighting,
Preston?
No, because there is more money in treating homelessness and drug addiction
than actually eliminating it.
Because if you eliminate drug addiction and eliminate homelessness and the people living on the streets in San Francisco, those people who are living in their fancy homes will lose their fancy paychecks. The people who are really being paid by billionaires will no longer get their money. And it's a circle of Dean Preston says, I'll give you money to help you fight homelessness. And in return, the homeless groups, coalitions, or whoever it is, a drug coalition, give money back to Dean Preston so he can run for office again. But then he gives them more money and they give it back to him. So it's basically a cycle of money being tricked.
Wow, that sounds really, really. That sounds inhumane for sure.
Remember when I did a piece? It's on my YouTube channel, and it's on Newsbreak about what's the one I did?
Gotham
by the Bay.
I thought it was Gotham.
No, Gotham by the Bay was the original, the 4-part series I did. I put on YouTube. I addressed that. And people did not like when I addressed that. So I come in, I come in surgically and look at what's going on with a fresh set of eyes.
And you're pointing out facts.
I'm only pointing out facts. I can't make up something, because if you make it up, then you can always show proof that, even like when I posted a tweet about how the different agencies, how the police department they're being told not to do certain things. Yeah. And someone came on, which is even crazy to me, is that the actual assistant, what do you call those people? Assistant, not DA, the other one. Assistant public defender came, and Hamasaki, whoever his name is, they both came after me saying that I was wrong. But I look my facts up before I do it. Now, even though it's written as a draft, I talked to some officers that work and they said to me, it's written as a draft, but we were told by the chief of, not the captains, the chief, that yes, it's a draft, but I want you to start going that direction now, and that's what we're going to do. I want you to do it now, even though we don't have it in writing, but that's what your edict is, to go out there and do what you're being told not to do. In other words, sorry, that sounded weird. So they were told by the chief that, hey, and I was on the phone one day, he told me the same thing. The chief said to us, all the stuff that's in that from the police commission, we want you to start doing it now, so that when it's finally enacted, it's going to be seamless. So they've been told not to do certain things, and we know that. And I know some of the guys that are legit, and they'll tell me facts, and I appreciate that they don't mind talking to me about it. And I say, hey, you know what, it is, we can't do anything. And if, like, let's say you robbed a bank, and you came out the bank, and if they got you before you got in your car, they got you. When you get in your car, you're like base, because they can't chase you. You're gone. You're gone. We can't chase them. We can't chase them. That's why the Highway Patrol is coming in, or have come in. They don't have to follow the rules of the city. They follow the rules of the state. And the state is different than the city.
So let me get this right. You're telling me that the San Francisco Police Department is being told not to do certain things?
Yeah, they're being told that. And I saw that. I read the thing myself.
And there's already a shortage of them, right?
Yeah, there's 500 short, and they're being told not to do certain things. I wrote it on my Twitter. I tweeted about it.
You put it on your Twitter.
And you know what's funny? When I tweeted that, I was in a car with you, right? And I said, this is gonna bite me in the butt. I know it is, right? And you go, why do you do it? Because it's fact. It's real. It's what's going on. And we were just driving down the street, and I just all of a sudden, you know what? I think I'm gonna write about that right now. So there you go. That's how that ended up. And you looked at me like, I don't know why you put yourself through this all the time.
I mean, I don't.
And I didn't expect
because the thing is that there's these people out there that have no lives that get, I don't know if they get paid or they just want to online bully and I don't know if these people
have to be getting paid.
Well, I don't know if these people have families, but if they do, I feel sorry for them, because if you guys are just families of bullies, then I feel sorry for all you guys, because there's much more to life than bullying people, especially online. And if you have kids and you're online bullying and your kids see that, do you think they'd be proud of you? If you want them to follow in your footsteps, I guess that's on you guys. But I just think that when you are online and that's all you do is you bully and you look for crap and you try to just put someone down, I don't know, maybe you're not happy with yourself. I don't know what it is, but I think it's ridiculous.
So here's the funny part. I'm not going to say it.
I think it's ridiculous.
I'm not going to say funny, haha. I'm going to say funny, okay. So remember the day we were out, we went to lunch Easter, and we stopped and we took that picture by the bridge. And I wrote, our experience was we drove up and down and we walked up and down, and it was like a wonderful day. So I tweeted, oh, it's a great day. We were on the port, no issues, no tents, no nothing. And the whole group came at me going, oh, you're being paid to say that. So apparently I'm getting paid from two different groups. I'm being paid from this group to say nice things about San Francisco. And I got this other group I'm being paid for to say bad things about San Francisco.
Oh, where's the money at?
So,
because I didn't see any. You not sharing with me?
I've been checking the mailbox every day. My check from the billionaire.
Man, I can't.
I had to look at the guy. I'm like, who the heck is this guy? Because if he's paying me, shouldn't I know his name?
Yeah, you should. Yeah. But nothing. I can't. I just don't understand. I'm like, can't we all
just
get
get
along?
Yeah, no, but it's not going to be that simple.
I know it's not.
And the funny part is, even as we talk right now, they're listening and looking for something.
Maybe they are, and if they're listening, and then they're finding something that they can find something else, and whatever. You know what? Do you? Because at the end of the day, I know that like I don't. If you have something to say and it's not true, it's not true. Yeah, and if it is true, I wouldn't be ashamed because guess what? I have nothing to be ashamed of my truth.
I have to say something about Diane, and no matter how many times I'm kidding with her and say, "Hey, you should run that red light," she's like, "Oh no, I'm not running that red light." I say, "Oh, you should." No. Oh, yeah, Cherry in the store. No, I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing it.
She is a by the book person. I've always been by the book.
I try my best to be by the book.
But she's by the book, and it's funny because she's literally I can't make her do anything bad. I'd be like, I just mess with her to see if she'll do it. She's like, "No, I'm not doing that."
Nope. I mean, that's just who I am. But
you were raised right.
In all honesty, I think that, I mean, and you know what? I could say all that I need to say, and if these people ever see it, they won't care. I know, because they don't care about anything else that they're saying other than, they don't care about anything else but what they're putting out there. They have an agenda. They're on the attack. Doesn't matter if you're a good person or a bad one. It seems like they're only attacking really the good people though. But it doesn't matter if you're a good person. They won't care because they have an agenda to attack. As long as they have that agenda to attack, there's nothing that nothing I can say, nothing you can say that will change their minds. But what I do have to say though is I just honestly feel sorry for people that feel like they need to do that in order to feel good about themselves or to feel like they have like a purpose in this world or they have like a mission. Like there's other ways to figure out, what your mission on earth is or what your purpose in life is. And there are other ways to make yourself feel good too.
All right. So now we get all that.
I know we were talking about our trip, and for some reason we got on talking about these people.
Our trip. We did most of the trip. We did Universal. We did the piers. We drove down Highway 1. We drove back on 101 the long way.
Oh yeah, we took the long way home. So we can eat at Splash Cafe.
Yeah, in Pismo Beach, and then we looked around there, and I'm kind of sad because what I told Diane was that. It used to be a time when I would rent an Airbnb. It was run by little small companies, mom and pop companies. But and this is for people for the Bay Area. This will probably make sense to you. I used to rent Airbnbs let me take away the word Airbnb. I used to rent vacation rentals in Sea Ranch. And for a whole week, it was somewhere around the range of $1,500 to $2,000 for an entire week. And this was when it was privately owned. Small mom and pop companies, but now they've been taken over by Vrbo and Airbnb, who took over these companies and told the owners, you can probably make $10,000 a month if you rent these out. So now those very same places that were for $1,200 to $1,500 to $2,000 are now $10,000 a month. A week.
Crazy.
And you go up there. It used to be like solace and peaceful, and you walk on the side and hear the ocean crashing into shore. Now you see Priuses driving down dead end streets at like 80 miles an hour. I'm like, where are they going? It's a
Priuses
dead end.
or Teslas?
No, Priuses back then.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
We went last time, it was Priuses. And then you had people that were walking along the edge where the ocean was on their phones. They weren't even looking at the ocean. You go out there to look at the ocean, not be on your phone. I was like, what is going on?
They're looking at the ocean in their phone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like going to a concert to see Sade, and you're like,
and you're watching it through your phone.
I'm like,
yeah.
You could have just downloaded it at home and watched it.
Okay, I met her name is Sade.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Stanley's making it rain up in here. Dollar bills, y'all. Hey, let me tell you something. If I was being paid by billionaires, hey, Maverick, I'd be out there to visit you like next week.
We'd be out there to visit you tomorrow.
We'd be up in Hong Kong going, yo, what's up? With that trader with a Transformer restaurant.
Oh yeah, that's there, right?
Yeah. Oh, there we go. So anybody try out Threads?
Oh yeah.
That's the new Twitter killer.
Betty Veronica says greed and power are destroying humanity.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So there's a new. If you haven't been in Around the Rock, and if you not adverse to Facebook stuff or Meta, they just launched something called Threads, and you told me about it. I didn't even know it existed.
I was getting all these notifications for like people signing up on Threads, and I was like, what is this Threads thing that keeps popping up? And I didn't realize it was a completely like different app you needed to download, but obviously connected to your Instagram.
So it's okay. So here, before you connect your Threads, keep this in mind. If you get on it and you don't like it and you want to delete Threads, you are in fact deleting your entire Instagram account.
Yeah.
So if you've built up an Instagram account for years and you're proud of it, and then you sign up for Threads and then you go, I don't want to do this. Now, right now, I have to say this. It's not being run by, it's not a bunch of trolls on it yet. The trolls haven't made it there yet, but they're on their way. They're marching down the street, heading over there.
Don't put that out there. Oh, also, I like what Make It with Calvin said. He says, I have people who still don't believe how backward things are in SF, but I show them your tweets and the sources, and they are floored.
Yeah, it's amazing. And just so you know, I try to, I'm not always perfect, but I try to deal in facts. And I try to make phone calls. The only time I made a mistake was the other day when I posted, a friend of mine sent me a thing about July 4th. And I was like, oh my God, this is great. I'm going to share this, and I didn't want to, share it and say it came from XYZ because, it was sent to me as a DM. It didn't tell me where it came from. It just sent to me the DM as a text message. So I shared it. And all of a sudden the Twitter went crazy going, oh my God, I can't believe you posted. There's so many errors. And one guy tweeted me a DM. And he said, hey, look, I'm a big fan of yours, but there's this thing you wrote or you posted is right with errors. And if you check Snoops, you would have known it and seen it. So I took it down and I directed him to his page because I don't want to post something that's incorrect if I don't, if it's not. If I think it's incorrect. And even after I posted the one about San Francisco and somebody told me that it was incorrect, I went back to double check stuff because I want to make sure that what I'm saying is correct. And every source I spoke to, there's not one source that I talked to who told me it was wrong. They only told me that the only difference is that it's not adopted, but they're being told to adopt it. They're being told to do it. So
that's not written. It's verbally.
It's a verbal command from upper management to do this, and they have to do it because if they don't do it, then they get in trouble. So, and I read it over and over again. It was the last draft I saw was from May 6th, and it said everything I said was in that draft. And it's crazy how they are limiting police powers in San Francisco. And then when the police, they tell them they can't arrest drug dealers, like drug users, and then they get mad when they're out there trying to shut down the skateboarders. And they labeled it like, oh, they're attacking kids, and they're making them sit down on the ground with no jackets on.
So, like, basically, these are people that have the agenda that no matter what
you can't do it right. Yeah.
They're not going to do it right. So, I'm going to push back on that a little bit because, like, I think we've had this conversation before. Like law enforcement, their job is to enforce the law.
Exactly.
So that's the point.
It's in their title. Their job title.
That's the point of law enforcement. So if we try to eliminate police, and I get it, I do understand. I understand there is a history of like police brutality and it's happened in different cities. I get that. The problem is we are generalizing every single department, every single officer, every single person in position into this one category where then it comes to the point where we want to eliminate everyone. We want to eliminate police. And that's not the solution, because if you have no law and order, if there's no one there to enforce the law, it is going to be such an SHIT show.
I knew a guy who was part of the Rolling 60s. He was a hardcore gangbanger. He was the guy, no matter what time of the day he was, he had a pistol. He had a chrome pistol with the ivory handles in his waistband. I gave him a ride one day, and he sat in the car, and he sat in his lap. He goes, "This is just in case." And I'm like, "Just in case what?" He goes, and I'm thinking, "Wait a minute, did I make a mistake?" He's sitting there with a gun in his lap. And I spoke to him. I said, "So what do you think about the police?" Because I'm thinking he's a gangbanger, hardcore gangbanger. Mm-hmm. He was like, the guy that if you said something wrong to him, he would have like 8 people take you somewhere and have you chopped up and put you down in a river somewhere. He goes, you know what? I don't like the police. I won't call the police, but some people need to be policed. His exact words were, some people need to be policed.
There you go.
And I'm thinking, man, this guy, because this time I wasn't heavy in the stories I do with law enforcement. I worked for CBS News, and we met in a barbershop one day, and he liked, we took a liking, friends, we became friends, so to speak, and not realizing that he was a Rolling 60s guy. And he actually told me, hey, if you have any problems, he said, I like you, Stanley. You're an honest guy. He said, I really do like you. In his really deep voice, he goes, if you have any problems, he says, you send me a SS on my pager with the phone number.
Dang, that's how long ago that was.
Yeah.
Dang, that was a long time ago then.
He said, put SS on your pager and I will be wherever you want me to be. I'll be there in a few minutes with my boys. I'm like, I don't want that kind of power.
But also, pager though?
Yeah, it was pager. So SS meant I need help right away.
And pager means that this was back in the 90s.
And apparently I looked like, I didn't even know this. Some guy said, do you know you look like the leader of the Piru? There was a group called Piru.
Uh-huh.
And they were over near Compton. And he said, I look like the leader. I'm like, I don't want to look like a leader of a gang.
You look like the leader?
Of their gang of
wow.
Piru. Yeah. So that was over near, and it was not too far from where the Rolling 60s
Is this
were.
when you looked like Ice Cube?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they thought I looked just like the gang. I was like, so that's why I moved out to like way out to the valley, because that way they can't get me confused.
Is that really why you moved to the valley?
Yeah, I was like, I'm not trying to be caught up in. Oh yeah, that's.
I know. I was gonna ask you what made you move from like Long Beach, like all of that area, to like to.
Yeah, it was the 90s.
Yeah, the 90s. I was like, wait, I was an SS on your pager.
Yeah, he said, page me with SS. And wherever you are, we will be there, and in a heartbeat. They would come rolling deep too, because they all had cars.
Do people still have pagers?
I'm doctors do.
Because I was thinking to myself, I kind of want to have a pager.
Yeah, it was kind of cool though, having, in my opinion, at that time, hardcore Rolling 60s dude telling me, "Hey man, we got you." I mean, I'm the leader of the crew, and if you
where's he now?
I don't even know, but it was. But it was kind of funny because I always made good friends. So when I was in Salinas, I ran to a group of Samoans, and they liked me so much that they wanted me to they pricked my finger, and we put our blood together, and they go, "You're like my bro." And these guys were like,
really?
These guys were like 9 feet tall, 700 pounds. Samoan
okay,
dudes.
now hella exaggerating.
But they were Salinas, and they was like, and so we did the finger prick, and I was a kid, 20 something, and it's like you family now. And so I've been family with like some of the people that are like, even when I lived in Camden, they were like Italian, the mob guys. Of course, it's on Do Not Disturb. And he gets through. You know who that is, right?
Oh,
man. Don't say it out loud.
Yeah, I see it. You gonna answer?
Hey, I gotta call you right back. I'm on the air doing my podcast. I'll call you right back. All right. So
really, babe? You just answered that right in the middle of the podcast?
Sorry. It was
I
important.
thought your phone was on Do Not Disturb.
It was.
He called twice.
Yeah, he called twice.
Oh, okay.
That's how you get around Do Not Disturb. He called twice.
Okay.
So he knew it. He got around it. And so that's another good friend of mine. Powerful guy, but nice guy.
Yeah. So basically, like I said in the beginning of the podcast, you are a very likable guy. So that's why you have so many, like you get along with so many people. That's why I find it a huge issue when people are talking like mad crap about you, or like they think they know you, but they don't. Yeah, you're a very likable guy. I mean, in my opinion, I'm a little biased though, but
a little biased,
a lot biased.
Well, you know what? The word we use around here, and we have to wrap this up pretty soon because we're already past the hour mark. But one of the things that I like to do is treat people the way I want to be treated.
Yeah.
And I want to be
golden rule, right?
Okay, so here's me: honesty, fact-checking, fact-based. Treat people the way I want to be treated, which is something that is very rarely used anymore. It's to treat people the way you want. You hear it a lot. Treat me the way I want to be treated.
Betty Veronica said Stanley's that type of person who gets along with everyone. He's like a black Ferris Bueller.
Bueller. You know what? Life is too short to be like sweating the small stuff. You got to enjoy life to its fullest. And unfortunately, the new Twitter tries to disrupt that. It's like that electric bolt that comes through right in the middle of something and messes up everything.
This is why people don't do social media. To be honest, this is exactly why. And I don't blame you, because while social media, I think, was intended to connect people, with something that's always intended for, like, has good intentions, the bad will come with it. And so, like, people have also abused it and used it to abuse others, like, online. And it's really sad because this is like this is like a way to communicate with family from, overseas, or like even just your friends down the street. It's just a way to gather and get together virtually. And we saw how beneficial that was during the pandemic. But again, some people just
Well, I'm
like
gonna
to
say
use
this
it.
since you mentioned pandemic. You know how people talk about, oh, you hear about, I know,
Oh,
I don't know how people can worry about being in isolation. I could do that with stand on one foot. And then you had to be in isolation for 3 months and everybody lost their mind.
I know.
Well,
People
and
went
it
crazy.
wasn't like solitary confinement. You had actual windows. You had
Yeah.
actual food.
You could still go outside of your house. You just couldn't, like, go to public places.
Woo! Anyway, the golden rule, as Jeanette said, we're going to end on this one. Do unto others as they do unto you, or do unto others before they do it to you.
Oh, wow. Bill Van Ram says, at the range, who's more accurate? Do you find yourself more laid back with a CCW?
I'm more accurate because I've been doing it long enough.
Oh, is he asking between me and you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's more accurate.
And I don't think the CCW makes a difference if you have the permit. I think being relaxed and doing what you do best and taking your time. And like with Diane, I've been giving her some lessons on how to be more accurate and how to figure out which is her.
And he also just likes to point out when I miss.
And
he's like, oh, you just shot that and killed that baby over there.
Yeah.
I'm like,
what baby?
Thanks, guys.
I said, every time you miss the target, that's a round that's flying somewhere that you have no control over. And you own every round you put out of a firearm.
I understand that.
So if you're going to shoot a firearm, you should be proficient enough to know what you're aiming at.
And that's what I'm training to do.
And that's what you're trained to do, is become proficient.
Yeah.
So people want to see your rings. I can show them my rings.
You want to show my groups?
But I got 4 rings. Oh, wait, that's somebody else.
Okay, that's Steph Curry. Wrong person. Yeah, I'm not going to show my groups until
her grouping until she gets a little better.
Until I get better.
And we were practicing at 4 feet, 7 feet, and 15 feet.
No,
3 feet.
We were practicing at 3 feet,
7 feet,
7 feet. No, 7 feet was the farthest we went.
Oh, we did 7. Okay, 7.
I
do 3 feet, 7 feet, and 15 feet. Because I figured at 20 feet, if you're that far away, I can try to get away. I'm not going to try to sit here and play games with somebody. But my whole thing in a nutshell is safety first. It's important nowadays with the crazy stuff going on in the world we live in. If you're not pro gun, you don't have to be. I'm not here trying to force anything on you like that. When I first met Diane, she was not pro gun, but after showing her the importance of just, it's a good stress reliever when you go to the range and you fire some rounds off. It's noisy. It's dirty because of the gunpowder, but it's fun.
I think
and we burned off 2 hours in like 4 minutes.
It was really fast.
Yeah.
I think for some people, I'm not even specifically talking about like pro or anti-gun. I think when you think about life itself, like, people will not agree on everything, right? So the thing that I think that works for people, I would hope what would work is that, like, you could be pro-gun, I could be pro-gun, the next person sitting down there would be anti-gun, but we could still all get along despite what our beliefs are. Same thing with politics, same thing with religion, same thing with sexual orientation, same thing with, like, I wish that there was, and I wish people could see it because I know it's possible, but I wish people could see that despite our differences, despite whatever race you may be, we could all still get along and push stuff. But the thing is I think that remember the conversation we had with the guy the other day, the prejudices, right?
Yeah.
There's the prejudices that, like, people have that either come from, like, ignorance or, like, not being taught something, or being raised a certain way. And they never get past that. And when we don't get past those prejudices, that's when things can happen, right?
So you like pineapple on your pizza?
It's okay. I mean, I'm not really I don't have anything against pineapple and ham on a pizza, but I personally don't.
Anchovies on pizza?
I do like anchovies.
That's disgusting.
No, it's not.
I hate anchovies.
Okay, but I think anchovies are good.
No, you cannot have anchovies because I don't like anchovies.
Oh, are we doing this? What? Hold Hold on. What am I missing? If you haven't, wait, what am I reading? The ultimate proof that people cannot agree. Pizza toppings. Oh, real? Who wrote that? Oh, Chris. I was like, wait, I missed that. What did I miss?
That was it.
Oh, okay.
So he made a valid point that it's like somebody telling somebody that you have to have pizza.
I mean, you could eat your own pizza. That's the thing. If you don't want my pizza with anchovies, get your own pizza, right?
But not on what your anchovy dripping over into my pizza, though.
No, we'll just get half and half.
No, but that means half of it, an edge of it will still have anchovy.
Okay, well, I'll just get my own pizza. It's not a big
deal.
So
now you just selfish and buy it for yourself?
No, you get a pizza, I get a pizza.
Why can't we just have all pepperoni? That way we don't have to worry about the anchovies.
But what if I don't want what you want? We can't just you can't just do your own thing.
Are we on Twitter?
Do my own? Okay, now
no.
Being facetious. Okay.
What's up, Papa Daddy? Woohoo! I love that name.
Wait, Betty Veronica says, I still say you guys should make ringtones we can buy. Stanley's laugh and Diane saying beeb.
You know it's hard. Okay, so we try to do these little videos that I try to put together.
Oh, and he doesn't want me to call him Beeb on the videos.
I do not want her to call me Beeb on the videos.
But I love Beeb.
I love Beeb.
I didn't sound like that.
Beeb.
Stop.
All right, guys.
Ooh, that sounds hecka good.
Is there a way to send you a video? Yes, there is a way. How long is the video, first of all, Bill Van Ram?
I love that. Betty Veronica says Diane made salmon, quinoa, and Brussels sprouts and put garlic butter on them. That sounds good.
Sounds disgusting.
Sounds good.
Quinoa.
That sounds good.
Even the name quinoa.
I like quinoa.
It sounds like something that fell off the truck. You dropped your quinoa.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm waiting for Bill Van. Tell me how long the video is, then we can wrap this up. So, how long is the video, first of all? And I can tell you how to send it to me.
Anchovies, so good.
Anchovies are terrible. I had one once. I didn't know what it was. And it's like I was eating a bowl of salt.
Anchovies are salty.
Ooh, that was so nasty.
But you do notice that when we go to get pizza, though, you always just want pepperoni,
yes.
and
you know why?
and I flow with it, though.
You know why?
Do you notice that?
You know why?
Why?
It's pepperoni is the only thing that was made by God for us to eat. Nothing else.
Okay, well, that's a lie, right? What are you laughing at?
Chris Root. Quinoa is useful for patching a hole in the wall when mixed with enough water.
Wow. Rude.
Bravo.
Rude.
Quinoa I tried that once. It was like chokwa.
I like quinoa.
Yeah. Well, to me, it tastes like chokwa.
Okay. Well,
it's like eating pork rinds with no water. And then you get there's some pork rinds you eat that are so dry, it literally sucks the moisture out your mouth. And you're like, I can't breathe.
Well, you're eating the pork. You're eating the wrong pork rinds then.
Well, no, I find the ones, I get the better ones at El Chavez, the one we go to where they make it. But I found one in South City that had some really good pork rinds, really good. But I've had the ones in the bag that you buy that for 99 cents. I might as well just go ahead and suck all the moisture out of my mouth like a desert.
You might as well have just saved your 99 cents.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be back.
So I'm waiting I ain't heard back from Bill Van Ram yet.
Betty Veronica, I don't sound like that. I know. Okay, so you guys, we noticed while we're waiting for Bill Van Ram, we noticed that. So we often like to we mess around with each other a lot, right? And we make fun of each other. And when we imitate each other, we notice that we always start off the same way.
Ooh.
So we always do it. And I think he was imitating me and I was imitating him. We noticed we did it. And we're like, why do we always go, ooh?
Because I say it's a separation. Oh, I didn't see the response. I just see.
Oh, the last I see too is Stanley is their way to send you a video.
Yeah, I
didn't see anything else.
Nothing else came across, so you didn't respond to our liking, I guess. I love hot sauce on my pork rinds. Hello, Sherry.
Hi, Sherry.
My Sherry Amor. Stevie Wonder.
Oh, I know. Let him sing it.
Ooh. Oh, let him sing it.
Ooh.
Ooh. Sound like E40. Ooh.
No, we sound like a bad version of E40.
Yeah.
Ooh.
A broke down version of E40. Ooh.
Ooh.
Bill, just write a quick number because it didn't show up. I know you said you sent it, but it's somewhere in the stratosphere out there floating around. Went to like China or somewhere, some other country. You're not E40. You're 40.
Who wrote that? Oh, you get
Maverick.
you get it a lot faster than I do.
Yeah, because I'm the leader
You're
of the pack.
40.
40. Anyway, so Bill, I'm going to send you a link, and then I'll give you a private link. So give me 1 second.
Also, don't forget, if you're on YouTube, please give a thumbs up. If you're on Facebook, a like. What is it? Facebook stars? No, not stars.
Facebook is stars.
Stars
and likes. And if you did leave a star, thank you.
Thank you.
Hold on, let me figure out how to do this. So, I responded. I didn't mean to do that.
Bill Van Ram says YouTube is blocking me.
Oh, that's why. All right. So
what does that mean?
He can't send it through YouTube.
Oh.
So hold on, I'm just send you a message real quick. Reply. Here it goes. So click this link real quick, and then I'll send you a private message, Bill. So I just sent you a link. Click it. Don't worry about turning your camera off so you won't pop on my screen, but just so I can send you a private message through chat, and then I can tell you how to send me a video.
It's like dark in here now.
I know.
It's funny how when we do these podcasts, how it's light when we start off and then it ends up getting dark.
So click that link. I'll see you pop in here, and then I can send you a private message. But until then, unless they won't let you do that either. Or you can just post it. Another option you can do is post it on your YouTube channel, and then make it a link where you can only send it to me, and then reach out to me on whatever platform you have. And I'll do it that way too. If you want to go to the link I sent you. But oh, there he is. Hello, sir. So I'm gonna send you a little private message. You can send it to what? You can keep talking, babe.
Oh, I was just looking at how slow you were typing.
Yeah, no. Ooh. So send it there if it's not too big. If it's too big, just upload it to YouTube and then send me the link. And if you got that, respond back. Yes, I got your message.
Betty Veronica.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we noticed that we do that whenever we're like imitating someone or imitating like each other, and we realize it's because we want to make sure we distinguish like his voice from like my voice from like another person's voice. Like we're not talking.
It's like it's our way of doing quotes.
Yeah, exactly. It's our way of doing quotes.
So hey, you know what's missing today? Our normal guy. Bill. No, Dave.
Oh, David F. Baum.
Yeah, sorry, my brain.
David F. Baum. Quick shout out to you.
Yeah.
And John was on here too. V. John. Earlier we saw him. I think I forgot to say hi, but we did see you.
Yeah. Every couple does impressions of each other, which are hilarious. Yeah, we do make fun of each other, but we laugh. She said I make her stomach hurt.
Every day I have an ab workout.
Oh, there he is. Did you have your gun with you? No, we don't go to the park. We don't take the guns to the park. We have safes for them.
Did you have your gun with you the last time you bought pork rinds? I mean, was it on your person when you made the purchase? No. Wait, what?
Did I have my pork rinds?
Did we have a gun with us when we went to go buy pork rinds?
Probably not.
No.
Just pork rinds.
No, just pork rinds. I don't use a gun to go buy
pork rinds. Yeah. Yeah. No, we don't do pork rinds.
No, we do pork rinds.
We don't do guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not like the Wild Wild West, like a Little Annie and wherever the people were. We don't run around with like, pistol packing Pete. We just,
What is up with this pistol packing Pete?
No, it's not really scary. I mean, I've
in San Francisco. I mean, you know what? To be honest, you just have to be prepared.
We were in
Anywhere you
Arizona,
go?
and everybody in Arizona has guns.
Yeah.
Everybody in Arizona has guns. In California,
I didn't have one though.
Everybody in California and Arizona has a gun, but not everybody's running around shooting each other. And people have this impression that if people are packing guns, they're shooting people. That's not true.
Yeah, I think in Arizona, with it being open carry, it was a little bit of a shocker when we first moved there to see
People pumping gas with a gun around their waist.
Right, but
out in the open. That was kind of scary.
But I think it was just, well, I think coming from California, it was just like shocking because we hadn't seen it here. But like the assumption that everybody's just shooting everyone in Arizona because you have an open carry law isn't right. Like,
Sherry,
it's
you live
not
in San
that way.
Francisco. Is it scary as people make it seem like on social media, or that some of it's being just hyped up? Here, you live there.
Yeah, tell us. I mean, I was born and raised in San Francisco, and it's changed quite a bit. But I think that everyone kind of has a misconception of it.
Not every area is bad. Just like I grew up in Camden, New Jersey. Not every part of Camden was bad, and not every part of Camden was good.
Right.
But no one ever said, "Oh, all of Camden is horrible." We knew that there were certain sections that were horrible.
They never said what?
All of Camden was horrible.
No. Did you notice that you did it?
What?
They never said, "Oh, all of Camden was horrible."
Yeah. I mean, it was never said, "Oh, you don't go to North Camden." I mean, you don't go to North Camden, but parts of South Camden were okay. You don't go to East, whatever parts of Camden they were. And, of course, you're going to have bad areas. It's where you go. It's just some places were bad than others. So, did Sherry respond back yet? Not yet. All right. So, look, guys, we've been on here for about an hour and a half.
She said I was born and raised, but some places are very crazy.
Oh, yeah, very crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's true. It's true.
Raw Stanley Kumo D is going to be shocked. Funny story, and then we're done.
Oh, I think I know this story.
So, when I first moved out here, I lived in Salinas. And we decided to go to a concert. And if you remember the Bay Area, you remember the On the Round that was in Redwood City before they tore it down and built high-tech buildings.
Mm-hmm.
So I was dressed up and I had on my hat, and everybody thought I was Kumo D. Right? So I went to a liquor store on the way back, and they gave me a free bottle of champagne, thinking I was Kumo D.
I gotta look. I think I've done this before, where I looked him up just so that I could see if I thought.
Yeah, the mission, TL mission has changed up a lot more than I've seen it change over 20 years. And I moved into the Bay Area in 1998, but I've never lived in San Francisco. Just for the record, I've always lived in San Mateo County.
I've lived in San Francisco.
You were born and raised in San Francisco.
I was,
but
yes.
Most of my work was in San Francisco. So
Yeah.
I worked in San Francisco every day. I drove in the city. I did the work in the city, but I also went out to different areas. So my knowledge of San Francisco was pretty strong. And I knew most of the politicians in San Francisco. So it was, and I knew, and I started off as a photographer. I was never a reporter until 2003. Before that, I was just a photog, not just, I hate that word just. I was a photog, a satellite operator. I drove satellite trucks. I covered the president. I pulled cables for hundreds of miles, it felt like. And that was it. David wrote a bunch. Anyone hear more from you? It's a mess. Yes, it is a mess. But he wrote something I wanted to read earlier before I go. David F. wrote something about, he said, I don't own a gun. I have shot one before. But it sounds like you have to think about, should I carry or not carry if I go out where you are? Camden says it all. Is San Francisco now Camden?
I don't think so.
No. San Francisco, it will never get to the level of. I took my nephew.
Don't say
there.
never.
No, Kath. I took my nephew there, and he said, "Uncle Stanley, did a tornado hit here?" And I said, "No, son. No, nephew. This is how it looks all the time." Now I have people that live in Camden still. Family still lives in Camden. I have people. To give you an idea how bad it was in Camden, I would go out on a Sunday morning and pick up my newspaper, and three guys ran past me, ran up to the guy that was about 10 feet in front of me, shot him point blank in the head, broad daylight on a Sunday morning. Must have been 7 a.m. because I went to get the big, we had the papers back then. They were like this thick, carrier post. Shot him in the head and then ran away right past me. Just watched him kill a guy. I walked over to the guy and you could see where they shot him in the head at, and I called. Go to a at that time, you had to run to a payphone and call 911. And then the police showed up, and the guy subsequently died from his injuries. But literally in Camden, you could see someone get shot right in front of you.
Did they find the guys?
I don't know if they ever found the guys or not. And the problem is that no one will ever testify. I can only tell them what I saw. It happened so fast. They ran past me. They shot the guy. They ran away. This is 7:00 in the morning on Mount Avenue by a school that I lived near. My mom lived at. I came home one day to visit my mom from Philly because I moved back to Philadelphia, and there were some guys spray painting inside of her house, and I chased them all down and brought them back to the house and had them on the floor at gunpoint and made them stay there until the police showed up. So, that's how bad it is. And the first guy they ran two different directions. I got the first guy, brought him back. And so I figured I got one, but the other guy came back to check on his buddy. So then I got him and I had them both. And the police go, how'd you get them both? And that's how the story ended. So the parents called me up and said, look, rather than take my kids to jail, would you mind if they repainted your mom's house? And I said, I don't want anyone to go to jail. So if they paint the house, I will drop all charges. So they painted the house.
How old were they? They
were probably in their teens, and I was probably in my early 20s. And they painted my mom's house. But they graffitied it.
That's crazy.
So, yep. So, and I grew, and I lived in LA, South Central. I was up in Compton. I was up in Watts. And I never had to worry about things in the world, But now, some parts of I tell you the place that's really scary right now, Oakland. Oakland reminds me of Camden, spread out. But it's even more violent than ever right now. They're even telling people don't use the ATM machine because you might get robbed. And that's from the police department.
Yeah, they say to use the ATM machine inside of the bank, right? Yeah. That's wild.
So anyway, we got to wrap up. We really appreciate everybody being here. We do. As I always say, and I always will say, you can be anywhere. You chose to stay here with us. We thank you. We're here every Sunday.
Except for when we go on vacation, which won't be anytime
soon. We
just did our one.
Thank you. That really looks good. I hope helped you too with it. Yes, you
did, David F. Baum. Thank you very much.
The mic, I love it. The mic sounds nice. Check one. So just so everybody knows, David F. Baum, who was very generous in giving us. Oh, David F. Baum is our billionaire. He's been very nice in making some donations.
Thank you, David F. Baum.
Thank you for the super sticker for $50, David. But David F. Baum has been making donations to the podcast almost every time we do this.
We appreciate it very much.
And we use that to keep this going because just the software to run this podcast is $400 a year, $400 to $500 a year. We got the mics. We appreciate that. So this has been a big help, and we thank you for that. And we can't thank you enough. We also want to thank everybody who's donated stars on Facebook. Thank you for your stars. They're very much appreciated. And if you don't know what stars are, for every star you do, that's 1 cent. So if you do 50 stars, you've donated 50 cents. If you donate 500 stars, you've donated
$5.
So we thank you for that. We don't see them here. So, and I appreciate, I know you're not a billionaire. You're just a fan.
You missed us earlier.
Missed it earlier when there's a rumor that I'm being paid by a billionaire to tweet stuff about San Francisco. And if it is, I haven't gotten the check yet. It must be on horseback, being driven by horseback from Wells Fargo.
The slowest way possible.
Yeah, and it hasn't gotten here yet. So
that was a joke.
That was a joke, and you missed it. But we started at 7-ish, and if you get here at 7, you'll hear it. But you go back and play it again, you'll sign it. But that's why we said you're our billionaire, because that's as close as we're going to get. We work hard for our money. We do. I do. I love producing videos. And, she'll tell you in a heartbeat, I'll be driving down the street. Oh, I have a great idea.
Yep.
And then that's where the great idea comes from. And then I own Stanley. He says whatever I want him to say. Yes, that's exactly how it works. So whatever you want me to say, you now own me.
Betty, Veronica, yes, Stanley does have a Patreon.
Yes, I do. It's Patreon is Mr. Badley, I think.
I haven't been on it in so long, sorry.
Yeah, here's the best way to find me. Go to my Linktree, Mr. Badley TV. Let me double check everything because I get so caught up in this thing.
He has so many things. He has his website too.
Yeah.
I know that for sure. His website's MrBadley.com.
Yeah.
I had to.
So go to MrBadley.com and you should be able to go, or go to my Twitter or somewhere else. You'll find the link tree. And let me just look. Can you keep talking while I look it up?
Sure. I'll keep talking while he looks it up. So Sherry says, I see you on Twitter too. David F. Stanley has always been his own man. This is true. Stanley has always been his own man. He's got his own mind. He's got his own heart. He knows he's very driven. He doesn't need
Okay.
You're a leader. There you go. He's a leader, not a follower.
So it's Mr. Badley TV on Linktree. And what you'll find there are a bunch of links. The first one is support the work of Stanley Roberts. If you add something there, so far someone donated $10.27.
Nice.
So this was a couple of weeks ago. We also have the store where you can buy stuff. There's my Instagram. Patreon is there as well. So it's Patreon, Mr. Badley TV.
So the easiest way to find, though, is to just go to your Linktree with all the links.
Yeah.
Which is, what's your Linktree again?
The Linktree is, hold on. I'm going to try to post it real quick.
Okay. Do you want me to post it in the YouTube chat? Oh, no, I can't post links, right? Because then they won't be able to click it, I think.
Yeah. So hold on. There we go. So it's real simple. I'm going to make it so everybody can see it. Cut. And we'll come back to this. Bada bing, bada bang. And then we'll do this. Add. And we'll do this. Bing. And we'll do this. Bop. And then we'll go bling. And
it should pop up.
There it is. There it is. Linktree, Mr. Badley TV. Or anything is either Mr. Badley or Mr. Badley TV.
I don't see it. Oh, what? Well,
it takes a second to load.
Oh, thank you, David F.
Oh, thank you, David S. Baum. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Woohoo! Hey, I wish I could ring bells every time somebody donated.
You should imitate the little pair when he donates. That's cute.
Hey, guys. I got to make some phone calls because my phone was ringing while we were here, and I got to make them before you go to bed. So we appreciate you. We do. We thank you. If you made a donation, we thank you very much. Super chat.
I didn't see the link.
It's right here.
Am I slow?
It's in the.
Oh, I see it. Oh, it's not like clickable.
But you can read it. I don't know if it's clickable.
Okay. No, it's not. Okay, so you guys see the link scrolling at the bottom of the screen. That's the website.
Yeah, Linktree.
I mean, to find all of the links you need. You should ring bells when you get your lemon water. He should ring bells when he get his lemon water in the morning.
But if I ring bells, then that wake me up. That's counterproductive.
But the ringing the bells is to let you know the lemon water's ready.
You'll scare the crap out of me.
Bells?
You can ring my bell.
All right, we're gonna get off.
Yeah. So there we go.
Love you guys too.
I'm so spoiled. No, because every day last week, I gave her.
We were on vacation, babe.
The week before last, I gave her.
We were on vacation. No one brought anybody water.
Yeah, right. Anybody water. Why you do it like that? Ooh.
Ooh.
I am spoiled though. I'm spoiled with love. Thank you.
I'm spoiled with love too.
That's right. I cook, therefore I am.
I cook, therefore I clean.
All right, fair enough. All right, passive aggressive. What? I didn't say anything.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, guys. Hey, make friends with each other. Remember, you are who you are, and you are what you drink.
You are what you drink.
Yeah.
No, you are what you are what you eat. You are
what
what you absorb.
What if you had rump roast?
Rump roast.
I'm just saying.
Okay. Good night, guys.
Good. They changed the setup again on this thing. I can't figure it out. Here we go.
I'm a boomer.
I'm a millennial.
I said it already.
No, it's backwards.
Oh, go.
I'm millennial.
I'm a boomer.
And we appreciate you. Thank you.
See you guys next week.
Bye.
Have a great week.
Yeah. W-E-E-K or W-E-A-K?
W-E-E-K.
All right, just checking. All right, bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Millennial Boom with Diane Faith and Stanley Roberts. Millennial Boom and Reasons Why Aliens Will Never Invade Earth and Caught Misbehaving videos are made possible through viewer donations. Check out www.linktree.com/MrBadleyTV to see how you can help. See you next week.